In a world where every vote counts, where the power to shape the future lies in the hands of the people, the stakes have never been higher. Welcome to IntualityAI's Election Edge, your go-to source for the most accurate and insightful election predictions.
Go vote.
Here's Howard and Grant to tell you about exciting IntualityAI's predictions update.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of IntualityAI's Election Edge podcast, where we make predictions about the upcoming presidential election as we have for the last few weeks. It's an amazingly close race, and founder and CEO Grant Rainier is now going to tell us about the absolutely latest predictions based on a whole variety of information and polls. Grant.
Okay, Howard, yeah, this is a wild time. The system is picking up on the basically the back and forth of the commentary about the election that's going on, and it has its own opinion, but it somewhat is reflecting what's being heard by the pundits. And so, as we see right now, the headline is that this time around is Trump surging ahead, but now retracting. So we're going to get into the details of what all that means.
Yeah, and just for the record, last week we did this. We had Harris just marginally ahead in the popular vote, and really a toss-up in the swing states. But in the end, based on measure of confidence, we had Harris winning.
Right, and this is the chart from the previous podcast that we did, Howard.
Yep.
Where Harris is ahead by about a 1.3 percentage points ahead, which again, that's within a statistical error, so we understand that. But nevertheless, these are the figures that come out of IntualityAI as of last, when we did this last, which I think was last Wednesday, was it not?
Correct.
Okay. So now things are changing. What I've done here is I'm making the statement here. It's a very tight race that IntualityAI is showing to be a temporary surge of Trump and is now retracting. So at the very top, we've got cutouts of each of the charts. The top one being the cutout from the chart that I just showed you, which is from last Wednesday. And then the middle one is cut out from a chart that was produced Saturday. And the bottom one is the current one as of today, the 16th of October.
Right.
So I'm going to go back up and explain this transition here. Back last Wednesday, a week ago, as we said, the system was predicting Harris by 1.3 percentage points. But then when we produce this, and again, this is being updated every 4 hours continuously, but the snapshot that came out of the system on Saturday showed that in the middle chart here, that the polls had switched according to Intuality. Intuality's opinion had switched and gave Trump a definite small but lead, but small, of about 0.6 of a point. Now you can sort of assume that if you take a look at the top chart again, where the red line for Trump was a very high spike compared to a low, very low spike by Harris. And that spike, we think, was transitioned down to the one that is shown in the middle here. The result of that spike shows that Trump surged ahead. So it predicted this short-term surge by Trump. And now we take this down to the current day, which is from Saturday to today, and it shows an even further retraction where the Trump is still has, as of this day, and it really is of the 16th and maybe tomorrow, surging ahead of Harris. But then over the next 4 or 5 days, we would guess that it's going to come back down and retract back down to basically going out so far the next week, where they are again neck and neck, basically even at about 47% each. So that's the interesting news.
Yeah, and as you said, Intuality had predicted the Trump surge, which was shown, and now it's predicting a drop off of that and basically even. Again,
right.
recognizing their margins of error. So this is the best we can do, but we do have to recognize the margin of error, which actually in the end will be manifest in terms of the polls of what actually happens. And I think that's probably what's going to happen is these polls are going to be neck and neck, and then somebody's going to win. And people are going to say, well, wait a minute, the polls said they were neck and neck. Well, that's your margin of error right there.
Right. So I'm going to get on to another slide here, and it's this one that has a whole lot more detail that will even confuse this matter further. This is the analysis of the swing states. On the left side, and we explained this last Thursday or last Wednesday, the slide or the portion of the slide on the left is shows the seven swing states and IntualityAI's prediction for each of those swing states. And this has changed. It's changed from last Wednesday again in terms of this side on the left side indicating that Trump is now surging ahead. And again, pretty much in keeping with the charts I just showed you. So we can see where Arizona for one is for Trump, as is Georgia, Michigan, and North Carolina. Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin is for Harris. And so in the case of each state, winner takes all, this accounts to about 23 electoral votes for Trump on the result of the left side. But if we take it to the right side and bring into it the confidence of those predictions made by IntualityAI, this is a confidence value that it produces on itself, and adjust for those, it goes the other way, where Harris is in 5 states, and Trump is in 4 states. And on the winner take all again, gives her 31 electoral votes. So depending on which side you want to look at here, it's either 23 on the left side and 31 on the right side. It shows that things are very dynamic. The system is picking up on it. And at this moment, probably it's still looking for Harris winning the swing states.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And last week, on the left side, as I recall, Harris was ahead by 7 electoral votes. On the right side, it was 31, like it is today, via IntualityAI.
Yeah, that's right. I should have shown it here, but that's correct. So the going further down on the chart, the national predictions, as we've already talked about those, the 47 and 4697, those are the 2 numbers that came out of the chart that we showed previously. And that's basically says for Harris, but it's only because of that very, maybe a hundredth of a difference between the 2 polling results from IntualityAI on the left side. However, apply the confidence value again that comes out of IntualityAI, and it pushes this in favor of Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's staying with Harris. And then finally, the congressional vote predictions is showing on the left side favoring the Dems controlling Congress, and whereas on the right side, it's the GOP. So another sort of a judgment call here outside of IntualityAI is that in the past, many times the presidential election has gone for one party and the Congress has swung the other way. So by the fact that this is indicating the GOP swinging or having Congress swing towards the GOP, that may be confirming this prediction that Harris will win the swing states.
Yeah, and that is, the confidence factor there on the right-hand side is very strong, and the differences there are, somewhat, well, they're moderate, but I think that's the first time we've had the GOP winning based on the confidence level in the predictions, isn't it?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where we are today on the 16th, and we're going to be right on top of this going forward here. And again, these numbers are being put up on our website. We try to do it daily, but if you want to have them updated even more frequently, you can go to our website and subscribe to the download of the app, our IntualityAI app, and it will be updated in real time. And so you can get something that's more current as opposed to just looking at on our website.
Yep. And again, just to remind you, this is totally the systems prediction. There's no interference by anyone in tweaking this. It analyzes the data and comes out with its prediction based on its analytics, and no personal or individuals interference with that.
That's correct. Okay, so the other thing that you and I, Howard, have talked about is increasing our podcast frequency here.
Right.
We've been doing it once a week on Wednesdays, but we now think we should be dividing that up and having it be at least twice a week. And so next one will probably be this Saturday, I guess, and we'll try to get that done and get it out to everyone.
Okay. And it'll be interesting to see what changes, if any, there are in the predictions.
It really will.
Okay, yep. IntualityAI.com, IntualityAI.com, if you want to download the app and get access to this on a more regular moment-by-moment basis, that's great. And we will see you in a few days.